Hello viewers, my name is Nick and I love to play and collect Magic the Gathering. Today I am making the first of a series of Commander deck building and strategy overview videos. We will cover Marneus Calgar and how I like to play him. Whenever there is a draw card, triggered ability on a commander, I am all over it. The goal of this deck is to create an army of tokens while drawing many cards at the same time. I will attach a link to my deck list below. For this deck, I run 35 lands, 5 mono rocks, 7 additional utility artifacts, 1 battle, 26 creatures, 2 planeswalkers, 9 instants, 7 sorceries, and 7 enchantments. To reduce the overall length of this video, I will cover the top 5 in each card type. My top 5 creatures either produce tokens, increase the value of triggers/interactions, or prevent my opponents from stopping me from doing what I want. In 5th place, I have Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. Majority of the time, I draw an extra card for every time a token or tokens come into play. Her second ability stops the permanence of my opponents from triggering when their things come into play. In 4th place, I have Myrel, Shield of Argyle. I get a lot of value from her because she protects me from counter spells and any other instant or activated ability that would have a negative effect on my board state. Her second ability is useful too. She doubles my soldiers with every swing. In 3rd place is Decklist, Reverent Medium. For every token that I create, she creates a 1/1 flying spirit during each player's turn. She helps me go wide with flyers and adds more cards to draw when my commander is out. In 2nd place, I have Nadir Kraken. When my Ashnod's Altar and my commander is out, I can create as many tentacles as I want and draw as many cards as I want. When I draw the first card that turn, I pay 1 colorless, which puts a counter on the Kraken and creates a tentacle token. Marneus draws me another card when the tentacle is created. I sack the tentacle to create 2 colorless mana, and I use 1 of it to put another +1/+1 counter on the Kraken and create another tentacle. Rinse and repeat. And in 1st place, I have Mondrak Glory Dominus. He's a token doubler on a stick. If things get hairy, he can become indestructible if I sacrifice 2 other artifacts and/or creatures. Let's move on to the top 5 enchantments. In 5th place, I have Birth of the Imperium. It's a saga that does so much. It creates tokens, forces my opponents to sacrifice a creature, and draws me cards. So much value. 4th place goes to Felidar Retreat. It creates a Cat Beast token for every time I play a land. The second ability is useful when I have amassed my army and I want to swing for the kill. The Vigilance it adds is useful too, so I don't leave myself open. The +1/+1 counters don't hurt either. In 3rd place, I have Skrull's Hive. A token generator for 1 life a turn is a good trade-off for me. The mites it makes have Toxic 1, but can't block. This spells trouble for players who don't have many blockers. 2nd place goes to one of my favorite enchantments in the game, Bitter Blossom. It's another token generator for 1 life a turn, but the difference with this one is the tokens have flying. Evasion is useful. 1st place must be Anointed Procession. It's a token doubler in white. Despite the steep price tag, it gets me a sizable amount of creatures in a short time. I use 1 battle. It's Invasion of Tolvada. It's a recursion spell for a permanent, and once it transforms, it's a token generator and an anthem effect all in one. I run 2 planeswalkers, Kaya Geist Hunter and Elspeth Sun's Champion. I mostly use Kaya's -2 ability to double the amount of tokens I make. Elspeth's +1 ability is most used for me. There are some cards with soldier synergy in this deck, so she has value for sure. For 5th place in instants, I chose Deny the Witch. It's more of a situational counter, but the added effect gets me closer to victory most of the time. In 4th place, is Fierce Guardianship. Although it only counters non-creature spells, it pays off when I can cast it for free. In third place, I have Anguished Unmaking. Exiling a non-land permanent gets around most things to get rid of a threat. In second place is one of my favorite cards in Magic, Vampiric Tutor. It gets you what you want. You can draw the card you search for by creating a token when your commander is out. You don't always have to play this at the end of your opponent's turn. My favorite instant in this deck has to be Ink Shield. This card has won me many games. Definitely a game changer. For sorceries, 5th place goes to Deploy to the Front. Despite the casting cost, this card can be the final nail in the coffin. If one of my token doublers is out, it's game over. Next, in 4th place, I have Hour of Reckoning. It's a board wipe that I cast for 3 white most of the time. My tokens are safe, and I have the advantage afterwards. 3rd place goes to Finale of Glory. It's more of a late game spell, or whenever I have my semi-infinite colorless mana. This card is fun. Next in the list is Demonic Tutor in 2nd place. This tutor lets me have the opportunity to cast whatever I search for during the same turn. As most of us, I love me a good tutor. At number 1 has to be Farewell. This is my favorite board wipe in Magic. It gets rid of combo pieces and threats. You have options for whatever the battlefield looks like. 5th place for artifacts goes to Ashnod's Altar. This deck creates many expendable creatures which I can sacrifice for 2 colorless mana. I run some big casting cost spells in this deck, so I have a lot of use for this card. In 4th place is Halo Fountain. I mostly use this as a token generator, but untapping the creatures I attack with sets me up for blocking, which is good as well. 3rd place spot is for Oketra's Monument. Although it decreases the casting cost for white creatures only, it creates a token whenever you cast any creature. In 2nd place is Inquisitorial Rosette. Not only does it create an attacking token when I swing in with the equipped creature, but it gives all attacking creatures menace. This improves my chances of connecting. 1st place goes to Shorikai Genesis Engine. It makes tokens and draws me cards on its own. What's not to love? 5th place for lands goes to Exotic Orchard. It's an untapped land that produces the color mana I need a lot of the time. In 4th place is Arcane Sanctum. Although it's tapped when you play it, it produces all my deck's colors. Command Tower is 3rd. This card is an auto-include in any deck with more than 1 color. Path of Ancestry is 2nd. The Scry ability isn't always a thing, but it produces the colors I need. 1st place goes to Murex. It's an untapped land that can make a token and I don't have to sacrifice it to do so. Of course, if you have more funds to spend on lands, you would get the Underground Seas and Scrub Lands, whatever have you. But for me, I would rather spend money on all the other cards. So, finally, leave a comment how you want to play Marneus Calgar or what you think of this video. Any additions or substitutions that you would recommend for this deck as well. All of us can benefit from that. Thanks for watching and have a great day.